Squincher Outdoors would not be possible without the support of these great companies. The Resource Center, Ozark Mountain Outdoors, Mossy Oak Properties, Jim Butler Chevrolet, Lily's Landing Resort and Marina, Rustic Timbers Furniture Company, Hot Shot Archery, Vortex Optics, Magnus Broadheads, Boatworks Performance Specialists, Baitworks for all your fishing bait and tackle needs, and of course our friends at Squincher.
Alright guys, I'm back at Lake of the Ozarks on this week's episode of Squincher Outdoors, but today's going to be a little bit different. I'm here with fishing legend Dion Hibdon. Thank you for inviting me up to come fish with you. And what did we expect? It's January 13th. It's supposed to be middle of winter, but it's pretty nice today.
It's pretty damn nice today, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to go out and catch them on a jig today. We could do a lot of other things and catch a lot of fish on an A-rig, a jerk bait, and different things like that, but I don't like any of those. So we're going to go out, we're going to catch them on a little jig like I really enjoy doing. Mess around out there, keep live scope turned on in case I see a mess of crappie. We're just going to go fishing like I do every day.
All right, you guys, these guys are famous for jig fishing. You're not going to want to miss this episode. You are definitely going to learn something today about Lake of the Ozarks and jig fishing. I'm super excited. I know David's excited because he just heard the word crappie. Let's go ahead and put your boat in and let's go catch us a fish. We're going to. All right, man.
Tony and Dion had a great day on the lake. Today's show is all about learning from one of the greatest bass fishing pros of all time. This first of a two-part episode is full of tips and good stories. Sit back and enjoy.
Are you ready for a better way to buy a boat? Boatworks has reinvented the boat dealership experience. Customer appreciation, service, our friendly staff will make owning your next boat simple. We offer premium brands like Bass Cat, Camus, Skeeter, and more. Boatworks isn't just about serious fishing. From our premium pontoon lines and wake boats, we've got you covered. Come visit us at our locations in Springfield, Missouri or Lake of the Ozarks. Boatworks, a better way to buy a boat.
The Squincher Outdoors team is always on the move, and we depend on Jim Butler Chevrolet in Fenton, Missouri to get us where we need to go. With the largest selection of Chevy trucks at unbeatable prices, it doesn't make sense to go anywhere else. Sales manager Alex Cox and our buddy Scott Johnson promise to put you in a vehicle at a price you're not going to believe. Jim Butler Chevrolet not only has unbeatable prices, but a service and finance department that will treat you like family. Call Scott Johnson right now and let Butler Chevrolet show you why we won't buy from anyone else. Ozark Mountain Outdoors is a full-service archery shop located in Branson West. With a large selection of top brand bows like Matthews, Hoyt, Bowtech, Bear, and more, you can find all the latest models, along with a wide variety of leading arrows from Easton, Victory, and others. And if by chance they don't have what you're looking for, they'll handle your special order. With a 25-yard indoor range and a full-service center, Ozark Mountain Outdoors has everything you need to get you ready for the woods. Ozark Mountain also offers land management services, help with food plots, and a whole lot more. If it's archery related, Ozark Mountain Outdoors has you covered.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Habitat Taxidermy,
the official taxidermist for the Squincher Outdoors team. Call David Vessel at Habitat Taxidermy at 417-840-0058 and preserve your memory of a lifetime.
Only thing we got to figure out here up in this area is kind of how deep they are today, which they shouldn't be, but 8 to 10 foot right now.
All right, guys, we're going to start off throwing a jig. What size jig head are we fishing here?
This is about a 3/8 or a little heavier. It's what we call a Dirk's jig. A buddy of mine makes it here on the lake, and it's got a cool little hook that I'll take time to show you later that hooks them real good.
All right, it's winter time, so how do you want to fish it? Are we going to hop it?
First good one I catch, I'll show you why it's a good jig.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to keep it on the bottom for the most part. That's why it's a little bit heavier. It's basically a ball head jig. Yeah. Only it's made for fishing 15 to 25. It's just a little bit heavier. It's still tiny and short coupled. I mean, you know, you can see how long it is. I mean, it's not but about 2.5 inches long. Little bitty deal. You can tell about any kind of trailer on it. When I moved it along like this, I throw a trailer that kind of folds up on it. And when I say that, you think about crawdad. I grew up with a fish tank. Okay, my mom and dad owned a little tackle store, and I grew up on watching crawdads get meat in a fish tank and stuff like that. We always kept a couple little bass around, and right now, as cold as it's getting, it's January, it's chilly, so a lot of those crawdads are starting to gather up to maybe hibernate away, you know, go away, get in a hole and stuff. So the bulk of them are hugging the bottom, you know, or they're around a piece of brush. But for the most part, a good rock is probably more important to you than a pile of brush.
What kind of bite are you expecting? Is it just going to be a tap, or are they going to thump it?
It depends. You know, if you get one of them big spotted bass, they'll club the heck out of it. The largemouth, for the most part, probably just going to get mushy on it, you know. Some of them whack it pretty good, but I use my reel a lot instead of bobbing my rod up and down. I just keep it along the bottom real easy.
Just kind of reel it, just make sure you can stay in contact with the bottom.
Bottom contact. That's why these jigs are a little bit heavier.
It feels good. I can feel the bottom.
Oh yeah. It's probably closer to a 1/2 ounce than it is a 3/8. But it's a deal. The style of bank and the rock has probably got more to do with it than the brush or anything else.
I think I just had a tick right there. There he is. Oh, he come off. Boy, now son, that fish, he ticked it. I didn't want to set the hook and be one of those people, but he was on there for a second, dang it.
All right.
Felt like halfway decent fish.
Oh, we'll catch some good.
I didn't want to catch the first one. That's not a good guess. Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Well, don't hold back, because I'm not going to have mercy on you.
That really hurts, and I missed the first one.
Yeah.
Dude, he really, seriously, I mean, he barely.
Clubbed it?
He just ticked. He just ticked it, and when I got here and I said I thought I had a bite, my line was swimming sideways. Yep. He had already had it, but I didn't want to set the hook on an imaginary first fish. You think color matters today? Mine's brown and purple, it looked like.
Oh, I like little dark browns and stuff like that. Just anything crawdaddy colored, or close to crawdad colored. I think this time of the year they're eating it on the bottom, crawling along the bottom, and they're probably eating going to the noise and the motion on the bottom more so than looking down and saying, "Oh man, look at there, a crawdad." They're seeing the silhouette of it, more than anything on the bottom.
You guys catch a lot of your big bass this time of year then?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what's fun about this is you just normally catch a lot. You normally get a lot of bites.
Well, this kind of reminds me of throwing a football jig on Temple Rock in the fall.
That's it. This little guy comes through stuff good. The hook angles and everything are right on it to where they just, my dad was very picky about his jigs and how it was designed and everything. And because, we come out here in them tournaments and we got 8 hours to catch them. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't lose none, and, but, the this is the final result of some of that thinking. Dirk Slater, that kind of put the hook design together and everything, him and Dad were best buddies, and they worked very hard at making better fishing equipment for everybody to fish with.
Rustic Timbers Furniture in beautiful Branson West is located on Highway 76. Rustic Timber specializes in rugged handcrafted furniture for your home, lodge, or cabin. Rustic Timbers Furniture offers decor for virtually every room in your home or business. Their products are made in America and are designed to last a lifetime. Their knowledgeable staff is there to answer any of your interior decor questions. You'll find everything from bedroom and living room furniture to taxidermy, wall decor, and much more. Rustic Timbers Furniture has everything to fit your rustic style.
Just so everybody knows, how deep are we sitting?
We're sitting in 22 right here.
And
that's
should
the
we
only.
fish it all the way back to the boat, you think?
I'm going to till we start catching them.
Till we figure out where they're at?
Yeah. I'm going to make a long cast up there where they might be, and me and Lawson watched a deal 2 years ago. 2 years ago we had a lot of cold weather, and when I say cold weather, I mean by this time of the year there was a lot of ice, and we got tired of sitting around watching the ice. And we got another buddy of ours here that likes to fish all winter long, and he had broke out a launch ramp, and
don't let me interrupt you. Well, I got to fish, son.
I'm trying to make a damn TV show here. What are you doing?
Nice one. Come here, bitch.
Pretty little old bass.
Boy, look at that hook. It's buried in him.
Yep. 90% of them, they'll be hooked right there. And the nice thing about it is, you could have punched your button and let him just swim.
And he wouldn't have
And
came
he
up.
can't get off. So.
All right, guys, first fish of the day, Lake of the Ozarks, January 13th. It's beautiful out today, and we're just getting started. This is the first place we've hit.
It takes a lot to actually pull it away from one right now.
I mean, that one, he obviously was holding on.
He's not going to turn it loose. Unless you just make a real heavy tug or something to make him really move with it, he's going to hang on to it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people that are intimidated by jig fishing. Is it just one of your favorite go-to baits that you have confidence in? I mean, why are you guys famous for fishing jigs?
Well, way back when, before, A-rigs and stuff like that, a jig was the way you caught a big one, period. That's, you fished for big fish, and we fished with jigs, and that's the way it was. My dad, and a lot of people, talk about my dad being Mr. Finesse and everything like that, and he could take a spinning rod and pluck your eyes out. He was very good at it and enjoyed it. But growing up on Lake of the Ozarks, we didn't fish these little tournaments to go have fun,
right?
Because my dad guided for a living, and you know how that is. He guided for a living, And tournaments were just something, was kind of one of them deals that we fished if he had the time from guiding, you know. And so there wasn't one of these deals where you were just going out there, oh yeah, I'm just glad to be here, it's a lot of fun. No, you were there to win. And so about 90% of that when I was young was done with a jig. And you know, and you did it around boat docks. You skipped up under boat docks to catch that big one, you know, that was hiding a little better than all the rest. But like I say, it's just one of those deals. As I was growing up, that's how we fished to dominate things. To me, I would rather catch 2 bass that weighs 10 pounds as catch 20 keepers and end up with 10 pounds.
Right.
You know, I just...
So it's a confidence bait,
Yeah.
but it also catches big fish. So.
Yes, absolutely.
And in Lake of the Ozarks, this is a 12-month out of the year bait, yes?
Oh yeah, yeah. I catch them on some form of jig every day I come out. But in the winter time like this, it's got a lot more to do with the rock and just the depth and stuff like that. You know, yeah, there's brush basically everywhere on the lake. And yeah, you hear guys, oh, well, they're around the brush. Well, they can be, but more likely than not, the brush is just in the right area.
Baitworks is Springfield, Missouri's premier tackle shop, owned and operated by fishermen.
Oh!
We carry all the brands, accessories, and knowledge you need to be ready for your next catch. We sell all the top brands like Mega Bass, Strike King, Zoom, Rapala, and hundreds of others. It doesn't matter what region you're from or what season we're in, we've got you covered. Come check out our store in person or visit our website at www.baitworks.com and we'll get you ready for your next fishing adventure.
Hey John, I bought that ATV and I need a quote fast, but man, I gotta go. Here comes a buck.
The Resource Center serving Branson and Springfield, Missouri specializes in home, auto, motorcycle, and recreational vehicle insurance.
Hey Tony, here's the insurance for your four-wheeler and your ID card. Glad we could get you back in the woods.
Appreciate it, man. I can't believe you guys got it done so fast. I got plenty of time. I'm going to go hit the trees right now.
I'm gonna be right behind you.
If you're hunting for top coverage at a great rate, call John Schaefer at the Resource Center and let him save you some big bucks.
I personally don't think they totally just feed on them shad all the time. Where Table Rock and Bull Shoals, it's kind of one of them deals. They're with the shad. 99% of the time, they're with the shad. Somewhere, somehow, they're around the shad. Here, I really think every now and then they like eating crawdads, you know, and they just, and not that they don't on Table Rock, because they do, because they eat a jig good. But it seems like down there, you got to fish where they're at, you know, when they're not feeding on crawdads. And then you catch them on a crawdad some still, you know, because...
Yeah, we don't fish jigs near nothing like you guys do.
Yeah. But here, I think they take certain days, you get a good bright sunshiny day, a lot like this. And them crawfish get out and get on top of them rocks. And that's a day where you just might not catch many on a jerkbait or an A-rig. You know, it's just better for a jig, and they... So I think they move a little bit different, which... You know, that's just the way it is with any lake. All of them are different, you know, a little bit. They're all the same, but they're all a little different too. They all got their little quirks. And Lake of the Ozarks, yeah, we do have a lot of bass suspending and stuff, and they always do it, but still on the same respects, you don't have to fish that away full time, you know. I think a lot of it's time of day. They know it. They still know it's winter time.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't just that. That's what a lot of people don't take into consideration. My Uncle Virgil kind of taught me and my dad this a little bit. He kept a log. He was probably one of the last great guides on Lake of the Ozarks. That's what he did. He guided. You know, he didn't fish bass tournaments. Guy fished 2 bass tournaments in his life, and that was just because I wanted to fish with me in both of them. But the rest of the time, he spent his time guiding, and he kept little notebooks. Kept a notebook for every year he fished, and he would write down the date, where he caught them, how deep he caught them, and He would write everything down for the whole season, and then he would, you know, make sure he marked them well, put it away, and he would never touch that book again for like 5 years. 5 years he'd be writing that stuff down. He'd get out a book that was 5 years old and go through it, look at it. It would blow you away how much that happens within a day or two of the exact same time. So that's time of day. That's the amount of sunlight that's in the sky is what dictates what a lot of those fish do and where they do it, you know.
Well, bass don't eat all day long just because you're on a guide trip or you're in a tournament.
They feed periodically. And they're very opportunistic feeders too.
Yeah.
They, you know, if something comes by them, they eat it, you know.
If they don't have to spend a lot of energy.
Yes, if they don't have to. That's why I throw this little tiny jig a lot, you know. I do a deal in seminars about an open bag of potato chips. I can open a bag of potato chips and I can set them down right back there between them seats. Every time you sit down, you're probably going to stick your hand in that bag and eat a couple chips. And it's not that you're starving, and it's not that you like chips. It's just the fact that they're there, they're handy. I think this little tiny jig to a bass is like that. He might not be feeding on crawfish, but when he sees one of them ones about that size, it's easy to catch. It's just like, well, why not? You know?
Might as well eat it.
Yeah, and kind of like a shaky head. A shaky head is one of them baits. It's a bait that, yeah, it's not much of a bait, but it's just right. You know. And the other thing that a lot of people don't understand or don't think about on a shaky head is the ultimate meal for a bass for one reason. It's a minnow that's not paying attention. It's a minnow feeding on the bottom. And he's pecking around on the bottom because that's what that head does. That head sticks that straight tail worm up and he's pecking around down there feeding. So it's a minnow he's not going to have to chase. All he's got to do is sneak up on it, pick it up. So it's really the ultimate food for a bass, you know, because it's not paying attention. It's not going to dart away. It's not going to swim away because it's got its head down and it's eating.
Well, be sure not to miss next week's show as the action picks up and Tony and Dion start filling the boat with lots of bass and crappie.